Welcome, Twitch chat and YouTube. This is a special Vintage League stream on a Tuesday night. It's been a little while since I streamed because this weekend I was playing in the mocks. As expected, I placed 8th out of 8 players, but I did have a very good time, and I was very happy in general about the event and my participation in the event and my participation surrounding the event in terms of people watching and supporting me. And I actually thought it was like really super awesome to see like the amount of Ferraris for Janari spammed in the Twitch chat, which was really cool. So I wanted to make sure that we got a vintage stream in earlier in the week. So this is a really sweet deck. I was actually working on this deck prior to Matt's post about it, but basically I think Matt and I have been on the same kind of page where we've been evaluating different vintage shells that have been somewhat successful that can house Luris without it being a substantial cost. And so one of the shells that we both tuned in on was the Max Pullman crop rotation decks. And if you guys haven't seen Max's list, he kind of has been, I think he's at school, so he probably hasn't been playing very much Magic Online lately. But there's a series of posted lists, if you go back to last year, of different mono green, green, white, different Thespian Stage Dark Depths lists, very land-centric decks. And these decks, almost, not all of them, but a lot of them do not play permanents that cost 3 or more. I think this original list played Tireless Trackers in the board. So that was like the one permanent that cost 3 or more. If you go on a very combo-centric version of this list, you often have Elvish Spirit Guides, which would be a pretty big loss playing Luris. But the list that Matt and I started off on, the green-white list, it did not have those. So it's actually kind of similar to different Zeus Bond lists. I don't know if anyone remembers those lists from, I think that's 2019, but it might be 2020, 2019 or 2020. But like, we're playing, how many lands are we playing? We're playing 30 lands in this deck, which is an insane number of lands to play in Vintage. But when you play Fast Bond, you are kind of forced into that. So Fast Bond has been unrestricted now for, God, how long has Fast Bond been unrestricted, chat? Like a year and a half, maybe? What the heck? It's been unrestricted for a long time, and it made a slight splash in the very beginning when Zeus was working on different like Mishra's Workshop Fast Bond combo decks that were kind of like a prison-y graveyard based deck. But since then it's kind of fallen off as it hasn't been super strong. This list I really enjoy because it actually is a little combo-esque. You're doing really incredible things with your Fast Bond. You're putting out very early 2020s with Thespian Stage Dark Depths, but you also are doing things like looping Wastelands with Life from the Loam. Life from the Loam Fast Bonds are really fun interaction with like fetch lands and Wastelands, where every turn you're putting 3 lands in play, and then you have a ton of mana. What do you do with your mana? Well, if they countered some of your spells early, you can bring them back with Luris, or you can just get a 2020. Really cool. I think the kind of glue that holds this together is the white splash for Deafening Silence. Historically, these decks that don't have Force of Will have a really hard time beating the combo decks in the format. Paradoxical Outcome, Underworld Breach, all of those are super hard matchups. But the Deafening Silence is like a very hard to answer card for blue-based combo, and very cheap played on turn 1. And another cool thing about the Deafening Silence is it comes back with Luris. So basically, in my main deck, I'm very combo-centric, but I do have these different pieces of interaction and I don't know if prison is the right word, but restricting your opponent. And then you're playing 4 crop rotation and 4 Elvish Reclaimer as a way to find your Dark Depth stage combo. You also have 3 Once Upon a Time. You have a multitude of different Silver Bullet lands to choose from. You've got a Tabernacle for Dredge. You've got Wastelands, Ghost Quarters, and Strip Mines to attack your opponent's mana. I have 1 Sajiri Step, which is going to protect your Elvish Reclaimer or your Merit Lage. I think the Flagstones have been quite good. Having the ability to sack your Flagstones to crop rotation and Elvish Reclaimer and not lose out on a on the land. It's not exactly losing out, but to retain a land is very helpful in making sure that you have enough mana to do your stage combo. One bog in the main deck for Dredge, and for it's actually pretty sweet versus Underworld Breach decks because you can Reclaimer it or crop rotation for it at instant speed, which I really, really like. And then I did recently included one Bazaar. And the reason I included one Bazaar is because a lot of game states get you into like a fast spawn Life from the Loam loop, and you need to be able to power out and find your action fast, and Bazaar has really helped with that. The sideboard in this deck is super important, and the reason is because this deck does not does not have a lot of ways to deal with your opponent, so your sideboard cards are very targeted. So Collector Oof, Feathersworn Canonist, Kataki, Seal of Cleansing. These are all permanents that attack my opponent's game plan and can be returned with Luris. Mindbreak Trap, because you can have an issue with these unfair combo decks, especially when you're on the draw. Force of Vigor is your one-all answer to all shop problems. I recently just put these swords in. I felt like I kind of needed an answer to Deathrite Shaman and the creature-based decks. I think swords is probably the best fit, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the right call. I don't really want to find another color of mana in my deck. I like the green-white shell as it is. So Zia suggested a second Bojuka Bog, as he felt that one Bojuka Bog wasn't enough against Dredge. I haven't played enough matches with Dredge to know if that's true or not. So I'm just going to trust the expert on that. And then one Blast Zone is for permanent-based decks like Shops and the creature-based decks as a way to be able to tutor up and destroy problem permanents. So I blew up like 4 2-drops from Shops one time with this, and then ever since then I've been like pretty happy. That was a really long intro, but I do think that this deck is kind of unique, and so it's might be not the most straightforward. I'm going to try to jump into a league and see if we can't get in 5 matches with this tonight. All right, we're here. Round 1. Vintage League with a cat and a pile of lands. When I look at hands, I need to think about, do they have one of my restrictive pieces? Do they have one of my combo pieces? Or my fast combo, which is fast spawn usually. Or could they put in an early 2020? And here, if we were to keep this hand, our line would be what? Savannah, Reclaimer. Flagstones for, I guess, stage, even though we have 2 stages. And that would give us a Dark Depths on turn 3 that wouldn't attack until turn 4. And I don't think this is good enough. This hand is just too slow. You're not winning until turn 4. I just think that's not really what you want from your game. You have no way to restrict your opponent. It would be a pretty good hand if my opponent was on Dredge, because I could use my Reclaimer to get a Wasteland, but I think this hand is in general too slow. I'm going to put this one back. You also have the London Mulligan, which you need to keep in mind, which is broken. This hand is no colored sources, so put this one back as well. Yeah, so this is actually basically the same as our first hand, but once you're down to 5, you kind of have to take what you're given. So I'm going to put back... I'm going to put back Savannah. I don't need this. I would rather this not get wasted. I mean, it's a little weird because like you don't really care most of the time when your lands get wasted. But in this circumstance, I actually think we want to make sure we still have this forest post. So it's actually going to be very much the same lines as before. We went over the draft a little bit in the beginning. But I don't know. I just don't really care too much, Geeky, I think. But here we're going to go Flagstones off Reclaimer into a Thespian stage. And then, yeah, so it's a turn 4. Soul Ring is a really bad sign because we currently don't have a Deafening Silence, which is our best way to combat PO, which is what our opponent probably is. I don't think we're going to be fast enough, but we can try. Is there any way that we could get out this a turn earlier? So if we were to go Flagstones crop rotation, the flagstones. No, because the crop well, yeah, so what if we go flagstones, crop rotation the flagstones into a thespian stage, and then it doesn't really do anything, right? Don't think we like make it anywhere faster because of crop rotation. Don't think so. Either way, we're just gonna play flagstones and past. I mean, that's a big problem. We can't really beat a repeal. So. That's a problem of my own making, is it not? PO players playing repeal. I mean, this is just gonna be Tinker, and we're gonna lose on the spot, right? So, unfortunately, there are no very strong lands that disrupt combo. So we're just gonna die. I don't think we'd have enough mana to be able to have like proper op 4 step. Unfortunately, like the only way we're ever beating a Tinker hand from our PO opponent is to have one of our 4 Deafening Silences. I think it'd be cool to have a land that's like a Dampening Sphere. I don't know. Doesn't produce mana, but is a Dampening Sphere. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm sure I would hate that as a PO player, but they bricked here. Okay, so is there anything we can do to like pressure their life total? We could get a bunch of lands in the yard. If we crop rot the flagstones into a flagstones, and then we crack the flagstones with our reclaimer, and we get a stage. Is that enough to attack? Crop rot flagstones. No, I mean we still won't be able to get to a 3/4. So I don't really think that gets us anywhere. So I think we just want to go get the stage. I mean, we might still attack just with our 1/2. Like I said before, we don't actually have enough to crop rot and protect our 2020, but well, then I'm not getting a stage, and that doesn't really get us anywhere, does it? Uh, yeah, but then you're risking. It's not straightforward because you are risking things by doing such a play. Yeah, but if we had gone, I mean, the crop rot also has to resolve, which is another problem with casting the crop rot. They have 7 cards in hand. It's fairly likely they have a force of will. I think you end up getting in trouble if you are casting crop rot there. I think what I want to do is, man, I think attacking with Reclaimer is just not very powerful. No, I think putting a 2020 in play is more useful than like hunting for a deafening silence that can also get force of willed. Like I think that like casting spells in this game is not the strongest idea. Like theoretically, I played enough PO to know that you can brick from the situation at 13 life with no top. So I think simply putting a 2020 in play is probably the strongest option. Like I think we're not going to win, but I think that wastelanding them is completely irrelevant. I can attack with my 1/2 and have them block with a Snapcaster Mage. Yes, I could have done that. It would have been one less thing on this PO, but I don't know. Doesn't seem very good to me. I guess it's maybe fine. Or they would have one less life. In the end, don't really think it matters, but... Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not 100% that they'll hit 0 mana cards off the top, but... I just think, like, my point is, say you wasteland them twice, and it buys you a turn. Then what? Then what are you doing? You're not doing anything. I think you're better off not touching their lands, having a 20/20 on board, and saying, if you brick this turn, if your top card is Force of Will, which totally could be, right? What if their top 2 cards on the top of their Bolas Citadel was Force of Will, or land? Then they die. So you're just better off. You're better off just making them have it, in my mind. A similar thing happened actually at the mocks where like someone was like, why didn't you block with your Boggle? Well, if my Boggle dies, I can no longer win the game. So I would rather risk my opponent having a Temur Battle Rage and killing me rather than just dying on the spot. So, all right, well now... So if they had blocked with their if they had not blocked with their Snapcaster Mage, they wouldn't have had the 1 life here. So possibly relevant. So I can Crop Rot for a Tabernacle, but I don't think it does anything. I can Reclaimer for a Tabernacle, but I mean, there's infinite ways that they can get a Demonic Tutor off the top of their library with 100 mana in play, chat. I think there's like still remote possibilities that my opponent screws this game up, and I'm willing to try to see what happens. Trying to think of what happens if I Tabernacle on this board. It's just not good enough, I don't think. I'm gonna concede. Okay, so I don't think this matchup is unplayable. You do have like some very strong permanents in your main deck, and then you have some very strong hate pieces in your sideboard, but it's not easy. Canonist is a weird one, but I actually think still quite good. Got to be willing to ditch away lands in these kind of matchups, especially when they're not very strong. I think that having like a Step and a Tabernacle, those kind of cards are just not very useful. I think a Ghost Quarter is not super useful if they're playing Esper PO. And then I think like most of the time you're not really playing the loam game with them, so it's not really useful to have a super large amount of loams. And when you don't have a super large amount of loams, you typically don't really need exploration either. I think this setup... Oh, 2 Mindbreak Traps as well. I'm going to go down another loam, and... What is my last card that I want to go down? Might just be a Wasteland. So basically, you stop being a heavy land combo deck, or like controlling deck, and you just jam a bunch of hate pieces. Because PO actually, like, if they don't have a broken hand and you jam 2 pieces of hate, it's usually going to be good enough. There's just not a lot of room. Unfortunately for this hand, I think we needed 1 more piece of hate for it to be playable. I think just having Athalia is not good enough. If Luris still costs the old amount, I would definitely take this hand, but not right now. Yeah, this hand is much better. I can't stress, like, how good this Deafening Silence is typically versus my opponent. Very good. Obviously, if they have a Force of Will for my Deafening Silence, I'm probably going to lose this game, but you really can't, like... Yeah, it is what it is. So they have to either choose to, like, play a Mox or play Cantrip. Oh, they just have Mox load. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not good. That's very good, though. Two turns out, right? No reason to take extra damage when they're gonna try to be racing me with a Mentor. So the card that I get off Reclaimer comes into play tapped, so it's still gonna be 2 turns before we make a 20/20, though. But they can only cast 1 spell a turn. So we have time. Okay, so does this change anything now? Can we get a Luris and play it? No. Can we make the Reclaimer a 3/4? 1 card in yard, 2 cards in yard, crack 3 cards in yard, so we can't. Quite unfortunate. Are there any other plays we can make that are strong here? Don't really think so. It's 3? Guys, I've played like 2 leagues of this card, and I had thought it was 4 the whole time. the whole time. One thing we are a little bit unfortunate is I did take out this step because I don't think you typically want to have it in your deck, but we will lose to a repeal. But I think that's fine. Any merit to getting Strip Mine? No, we're gonna get a 20/20. This comes into play tapped. So I need to go get a Thespian Stage this turn and make a 20/20. A cool thing is they can't attack with their Mentor because of our Reclaimer, which is sweet. They might still do it just because they don't know. We'll see what happens. Mentor? I honest to God thought this was 4. And I've played 10 matches now, or 15 matches. I might have played 15 matches now with this deck, and I thought it was 4 the whole time. Crazy. Wild. Reading the card does, in fact, explain the card. What? Uh-oh. Opponent is not worried. They might just kill us, I guess. Well, we only had 1 piece of hate. This can totally happen when you have exactly 1 piece of hate. Not really sure there was really anything I could do about it, so... Man, I wish I didn't build such good PO decks, you know? That's the real problem here. The real problem is I build PO decks way too well. Imagine thinking that Repeal is bad in PO, guys. No, I cut the bog. I don't think that, like, playing Tabernacle and Bog versus PO is what you want to be doing. Like, yes, Tabernacle and PO and Bog would have been pretty reasonable here, but are they really what you want to be doing? I don't think so. Like, the having dead draws in your deck when you could be packing it with, like, Force of Vigors and stuff like that is not really an ideal strategy. Why am I looking through this? I mean, most decks do lose to Black Lotus Mentor. They've already time walked, right? I guess we're still dead because I didn't bring a Tabernacle in at all. They have a PO too? Damn. Who needs Force of Will? Just have repeal every time. I'm telling you guys, holy shit. Repeal is so good in PO. It's so good in PO. Alright. That was rough. Alright, let's try to redeem ourselves. Round 2. I have a cap. And what do we got with this hand? We've got turn 1. Reclaimer off of... the mana is quite sus in this hand. Wait, well, we have what, a turn 3 2020? Let's see. If we play a Savannah, a Reclaimer, a Pearl, and a Petal, and then we play a Flagstones. No, that's no good. What if we play a Petal, a Flagstones? No, that's no good. Trying to figure out a way to sequence this that we get anything faster, but I don't think there is. Apologize for people who are not... I'm very new to this kind of archetype, so I haven't played it in like Legacy. So the math is not something I know off the back of my head, so it's a lot of stuff I have to do manually. I'm trying to think. We just have to what? Play Reclaimer, and this doesn't attack till turn 4 though, right? This makes it turn 3 2020, but it doesn't attack till turn 4. Because the Reclaimer can always get a Dark Depths and it will be tapped, but no one cares. Whereas the Crop Rock can always get a stage that is untapped. But the Flagstones gets a tapped land as well. I do think this is probably enough that we should keep it, but I might sequence it wrong, so bear with me. This hand's also like pretty good against workshops and pretty good against Dredge, which is nice. Okay, they F6. It's a pretty decent sign for us. So let's see what they have. Unmask target me. Well, in that case, I think we should just prop rot this Savannah into a Bazaar, into a Wasteland, right? I think so. And then we can bog off of this. We have a bog in our main deck, right? Yeah. Is there any reason to get a different kind of land? I don't think so. We actually, this is pretty good, right? So we Wasteland their Bazaar, and then we play Flagstones, and we can get a bog if we want. Or we could just hold and get maybe another Wasteland in case they have double Bazaar. And this is what I was talking about. I think our deck has a lot of tools against this kind of deck, which is nice. I'm good. I'm happy. I wanted to play this matchup because I haven't played enough of this matchup yet. I haven't seen it in leagues very much. I don't have a bog in my main deck? I should have a bog in my main deck. No. I have a bog in my main and in my board. One bog main, one bog board. I was told by Zeus that you wanted to have 2. Lurrus has been okay. It's not spectacular, but it's been okay. I have a main deck Tabernacle as well, yes. All right, so the question becomes here, like, what is the best line, right? We're definitely Wastelanding. The question is, should we hold off on... I mean, we should just not do anything now anyways. Because if they like hit a Narcomoeba, we can bog them. Reclaimer is too colorless. Yeah, it's crazy. If they want to return this, I don't care. They hit a chill, which is annoying, but fine. I don't think we want to like bog there though, so another wasteland. Okay, so now they can stop a 2020 if they want to, which is annoying. I think we just want to play like pretty conservatively here and just like maybe get another flagstones, because I don't think we need to get a bog, and I don't think we like really need to get a wasteland either. And that's kind of the reason that I put 2 flagstones in my deck for this kind of situation. I don't think you can afford to fit more than that, but another ETH. I think I want to just play this step. Though I could get a basic land so that I could like stage onto a basic land at some point. But I think playing a tap land is a little stronger. I guess I get sure pro black. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna care about getting through a Narcomoeba. I don't think there will be any Narcomoebas entering the battlefield. Like I can get a wasteland if I want. I can get I think there's like tons of ways around this. And if my opponent's gonna keep like dredging off of stinkweed imps and stuff, then I think we're in a good shape. Two bridges. Two bazaars. No more dredgers. So they're done with that. Yeah, I'm not sure like what the most optimal line is here. Maybe what we want to do is just my opponent has had enough. I think I was going to get Wasteland. Yeah, Kel. I think that was what I was thinking. I think we just get Wasteland, force them to do things, and then we just look for a 2020 in the near future. Understandable, good game opponent. the old match scoop, which is yeah, I mean, fair. All right, so here we are, round 3 now of the Vintage League. We're up against Doomsday. This is Eric. Eric posts like really cool Doomsday articles every week where he looks over the different choices people make in their published lists. So it goes over the different flex slots in the sideboard and the main deck. I think they're really cool. So you can find that somewhere in the Discord if you hunt around a little bit. The number 1 card we're looking for in this matchup is Deafening Silence or Very Fast 2020s. This has a couple good options, I think. So looks like a pretty keepable hand to me. It's always unfortunate when you draw Black Lotus that you can't really crop rot a stage and be able to combo. So we do have a 2020 on turn 2. But I won't attack till turn 3. Is there a different way I can do that? Well, I can always draw Fast Bond as well. We might just want to go turn 1 Lotus Thalia, though. That's probably a stronger option anyways. Yeah, so these are the matchups where you just really want to have a Deafening Silence in your opening hand. Cycle of Street Wraith. Okay. And also, these kind of matchups are the reason why I think you kind of need to have Deafening Silence or some other really strong hate piece. Because these decks are just so powerful in Vintage. Yes. If we Thalia, we will have a hard time doing fun things. This is a true statement. I don't think it matters though, because my opponent cast Demonic Tutor and I'm afraid of dying. Hmm. Just snap resolved. Okay. We can pressure their life total a little bit too if we want. So if I play a Thespian stage, I'm pretty far off mana-wise. Crop Rots are going to cost 2 mana now. We're pretty far from a 2020. What we might want to do is, like, get this to 3 power and start attacking. Not sure exactly how we're going to manage to do that, but... Ancestral Recall. That's what we Demonic Tutored for. Fair. Yeah, this Ghost Quarter is now a Wasteland because of this Fetch for Island, which is going to be really good for us. Unfortunately, I can't Crop Rot for another Wasteland, or I probably would. So I'm going to hit their Black Source, and then I think next turn we're going to Crop Rot for another thing and just try to kill them that way. It's definitely doable, but it's a little scary. They should not have a basic swamp in their deck. I see. Okay. Next turn, we definitely would have gone, I think, Crop Rot for Strip Mine. And maybe. I'm not sure, though. But I do think that's our best way of winning that game. We'll definitely take it. So in this matchup, let's see what we got. We have an Aethersworn Canonist. That's a good one. Mindbreak Trap. Very nice. I don't mind Collector Oof. Not the strongest, but it's fine. I don't really want bigger. And then... What do we want? A sideboard? We don't need a Tabernacle. I'm not a huge fan of Bajuka Bong. I don't think you want to play that long game as much. You should take out Bazaar. I think Step is completely useless. Not completely useless, but fairly useless. And then one Loam. I mean, if you really want to play a strong Wasteland Silence Thalia deck, you could always play Archon of Emeria. I think Archon's quite a strong card. This is a little bit more experimental than that, though. I think this is where I want to be. Nothing else here sticks out to me as something I'm interested in. Yeah, obviously the cards we're looking for are the combo-based hate pieces. I think you can play Thalia Archon without registering blue cards. I think that the mono-white deck is pretty reasonable for Leyline main, like the Not Me deck. I think it's pretty fine. Not, my cup of tea, but... Oh boy. That seems like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? I theoretically could Crop Rot my forest into a Savannah and cast Silence. No, no one plays Channel. I think this is a playable hand. But I don't think it's a hand I'm going to keep. It's close. I think if, like... There's a lot of things that are nice about this hand, but I think it's a little risky, especially because you're, like, very much forced to Crop Rot and have it resolve. So, I'm going to mulligan this hand. This hand... I think I'm also going to mulligan. While I do have 2 hate pieces, I don't have any ways to... Like, my deck doesn't actually play hate pieces fast unless you have, like, a weird fast spawn hand or you have one of your 4 accelerated pieces. And this hand just doesn't do anything strong fast, so I'm pretty off it. This one's better. Definitely keep this hand. I'm gonna just put back this fast bond as I have no lands, and I'm gonna put back a second. I'm gonna put like the crop rot. I think. I wonder. Are we supposed to put back this crop rot? Kind of think I'm supposed to put back the crop rot. I think we're just trying to beat down. It's not the strongest beatdown hand by any means, but and maybe we're not going to be able to beat down fast enough without the crop rot, but what do you got for us, homie? Dark Ritual, Doomsday. Well, I don't think it's going to matter. We got. Yeah, Doomsday. Oof, man, I'm sure chat's heard my opinions on Doomsday for a long time, but pretty easy deck. No Doomsday streams. We tried that once. It was a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. I do not know Doomsday well enough to stream it, and thus I can't interact with chat in the way I normally do. So. Yeah, Slasher, it's not recommended. It's quite challenging to stream Doomsday, in my mind. All right, so we drew another deafening silence. All right, we have one choice. Cast Deafening Silence. Ooh, yeah, Dazed. I assume Ancestral then? You'll have to wait for the long awaited Jacob Doomsday guide. That's what all the spikes are waiting for. The Jacob primer. I think we died, chap. I think we did the dying. It was a close game. Both teams fought hard. Exclamation mark, both teams, please. Submit. I mean, that's Doomsday. It's possible we would have been okay if we had a Wasteland, but hard to say. I think it's one word, but yeah. I don't know. I've heard good things about the Jacob primer. Exporting the not exporting. What's the word I'm looking for here? Delegating? Not delegating. Whatever. I don't care anymore. What is the bazaar for? So the bazaar, a lot of the games end up in a situation where you're doing like fast spawn loam looping. And the bazaar helps you either find your missing pieces or really make the combo go. All right, let's try again on the play chat. How about can we get a turn 1 deafening silence? How about that? Oh boy. This is a hand. So theoretically, we once upon a time can find a land and we go exploration, second land, pearl, reclaimer, hopefully. I feel like this is not going to be fast enough though. Could also hit Thalia off once upon a time. Only 2 Thalias in the deck. I guess we could hit any of our creatures. We have Oof, Thalia, other Sworn Canonist. Okay, I'm in. You've sold me. There's some pretty strong hits on this once upon a time. We, of course, did not hit those, but we did hit land. So I think we'll just lead on. How far are we set back if our exploration gets countered? I feel like that would be okay with us. Um, Unfortunately, these were not fetch lands, or we'd have some nice life from the loams too. But the problem with like the life from the loam plan is that it's just not that kind of matchup. Okay, so how fast can we 2020 here? Let's think about this. If I use 2 mana to get a Dark Depths and I crop rotation, I'm missing 2 mana. Uh-oh. I mean, I think like having the option to once upon a time look 5 cards deep and try to find one of our hate pieces is like fine. Nope, they have Doomsday. Are we dead on turn 1? Bug, Reach. Those are the big ones. I mean, we don't have like that many crazy combo hands. Like we do have hands where you have fast spawn and a bunch of mana. You do have hands where you have I mean like Black Lotus, stuff like that, but it's not like I'm playing Elvish Spirit Guide. So you're not like a super turbo 2020 deck, but you are still pretty dedicated 2020 deck. I mean, you can like this information exists on the internet chat. You can find it. Even like you can find it at any interval you want. What do you classify as right now, Dayman? Are you talking about the last weekend, the last 2 weekends? Are you talking since this last weekend? Because here's your last weekend's data. You could always make it since January. And here's your data since January. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, I mean, I can't tell you what's in leagues. I don't have any data on leagues. I don't know. We get a lot of data now. Like we have data from every premier vintage event every weekend. Well, I mean, what's the tournament meta look like is something you can quantify with exactly raw data. What's good is a different question, but all right, so we can crop rotation for a wasteland. That's something we can do. How about we draw a I don't know. I feel like we need to draw hate pieces here. If we had drawn a Thalia and a Wasteland, it would have been pretty good, yeah. I can make a 2020, but I just don't expect to live a turn, right? I mean, theoretically, we could crop rotation for a Wasteland on their Underground Sea. I wish there was I really do wish there was like a combo hate land that I could tutor for, but there isn't one that exists that I know of. Well, that's not what you asked. You asked what does the tournament meta look like? And the tournament meta is just which decks are being played. Rip new Ivulette. Rip new, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The problem with Wasteland Hope for the Best is that we are still not attacking our opponent, right? I'm pretty sure we have to just play this Dark Depths. I guess we still have no. This is the wrong piece to draw, so we'd have to crop rotation for the Thespian stage. Also, like, not super thrilled with the idea of crop rotating on my turn, which is like not very good. I kind of want to just crop rotate on the upkeep and wasteland them and hope it's good enough, I guess. I really don't think like there's any merit to playing Dark Depths make a 2020 because if their pile can't win on the next turn, then why would they make it, right? Also, the problem with that is I still need to cast a spell. It's not like I can make a 2020 without casting a spell that can get countered. Crop rotation should be on main. Why would we do it on main? That just opens us up to negation and flusterstorm. I don't think that makes very much sense. What if we get this to enough power? I think crop rotation could at least buy us a turn and get us a Thalia, maybe? Well, Thrusterstorm's not very good if they do it on their turn. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna do what like makes the most sense in my head, and then we'll find out what to do later. It's my last name. It's fine. I'll answer the metagame question after I finish this match. It's like not a thing I can do while I'm also trying to figure out how to not die. So we can't make a 2020. Even if we activate our Reclaimer this turn. What we can do is draw Thalia. And then clock our opponent. Fatal push. Huh. And they had that at the end of last turn and didn't cast it. What the fuck do I do? What if I turn this into a bazaar? And then I think this Dark Depths has to become a land. Don't know what kind of land. A ported out bazaar. Okay, yeah. I don't think I'm ever making it 2020, is what I'm trying to say. I kind of think I want to get a strip mine. Maybe that's just not good enough either. Well, I'm thinking like if I get a strip mine and I draw a collector roof, maybe that's good enough. I don't know. I'm not really sure. See if they got a fetch land here, I guess, is the question, right? They chose to hold their land so they can play Ancestral next turn. So now if I need to draw Thalia or Collector Roof. I could definitely go in and try to figure out their pile, yeah. I would have had a 2020. Hilarious. Yeah. I guess we're gonna just die to land Ancestral, right? So we had to hit something there. I don't think a 2020 would have done it anyways. I don't think that strip mine should do anything, so theoretically they might not be able to play around Mindbreak Trap, but maybe they just don't care. We could dredge into a Thalia or a Collector Roof and then play it with Luris. They what? What the hell? No land again. What kind of pile did they make? Should we dredge then? What other card could I hit? I guess I could hit Deafening Silence. No, I should probably not dredge because I could dredge into Deafening Silence. I'm kind of thinking about things I could return with Luris. This gives us 3 looks. I did not hit anything that I can return with Luris besides Reclaimer. So I don't think there's any reason to do anything other than play both my lands and play Luris. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think that's it. And then if they fucked up their pile, then they fucked up their pile. And if not, we lose. I don't really know. I mean, I think we actually put ourselves in a position where we might have been able to win if we had hit some kind of hate piece like a collector roof, but kind of an interesting thing. I wonder what my opponent's piles were. They must have put the Lotus really far down or something. Kind of a weird pile. I don't think there was anything I could have done differently besides hit off my dredge. Surprised that they built a pile that didn't play around Wasteland. That's kind of insane. It's really weird that they wouldn't build a pile that goes around Wasteland. So would we have won this game if we had gone for a 2020? Not after the Wasteland. If we had just focused our entire being on getting a 2020? I think the answer is yes, right? I don't want to check. I mean, I didn't think this was going to happen. I thought we had to go for a hate piece. But I'm pretty sure the answer is yeah. All right, so we wastelanded this and then they pushed us. Well, piles. Oh, me getting a wasteland or me getting a strip mine. You're saying if I had just gotten a stage there instead of a strip mine? Yo, what's up, Eric? GG's. Like, yeah, if I got a stage here and then I just cast Loam. Let's see. I got a stage. If I get a stage here and I cast Loam. And then I play the stage and I play Dark Depths Wasteland. I'm still one off, right? That also is going to be off by a turn. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The second one, I didn't really think through the second one because I got Fatal Pushed. I didn't expect to get Fatal Pushed, but I mean, I think the initial play of Wastelanding was correct. Pretty weird. I think like going for a hate piece there is not insane, right? Had to draw land? No, drawing land doesn't do it. I did draw land that turn. Like, this is the turn that I would have had. If the strip mine in play is a stage, and I drew a stage, you're saying if I had to draw Dark Depths? Oh, if I didn't sack my depths. Let's see. I didn't think about that one. If I choose to not sack my depths, I just have to just draw stage. Oh, you're saying if I had sacked my Savannah, then I'm just on land to make a 2020. Okay. It's a little hard to do that because it cuts off my collector roof outs, which I don't think I want to do. So, like, in my mind, all I was thinking about was drawing to hate pieces. So I was trying to maximize my, yeah. It's definitely a consideration, though. I would have been able to make a 20/20 if I had sacked the savannah. I would all I had to do is draw a land that makes taps for mana, and I would have made a 20/20. And then if they had messed, they didn't have another card for some reason, then yeah, that would have worked. Very interesting. Very interesting. Hey, Eric, why you didn't make a pile that played around Wasteland? Could you have made a pile that played around Wasteland? We were very surprised when the pile didn't seem to play around Wasteland. Sure, I think yeah, I agree. I don't think the strip mine really did anything. It's now round 4. It's not been a super strong evening, but see what we can do here. We've got a slasher, new vintage streamer slasher. I don't know what slasher's on. Mill maybe. That's probably a reasonable matchup for us. What do I got? What do I got? I got a weird hand, but I don't think this is a mulligan. Pretty sure I'm just going to keep this hand. I don't know what this hand exactly does, but I need to try it. Maybe this hand's not actually good. Oh, wow. That was bad. I definitely would have been okay with drawing any of those cards. That is one of the worst Once Upon a Times I've seen. Wow. Okay. I think I'm gonna lead on Wasteland Lotus here. It's kind of awkward, but that was a very unexciting Once Upon a Time, was it not? Mox go. That's the game we play. Uh well, I can get a Luris this turn, assuming my opponent is on shops, which seems fairly likely. Kind of in on that. Just Luris, Lotus back. I mean, they could be on mill, right? I don't know what exactly. Okay, Lotus back. Go. Okay. It is not. It is not shops. It is in fact vampiric tutor. Are we just getting tinkered and dying? Uh oh. Are we getting breached and dying? Are we getting DPS'd and dying? Are we getting Eldrazi'd? We're getting. Oh, we're just getting belched. I see. Well, that's bad. We got belched. Yikes. Oh, we are not playing versus very friendly matchups tonight, are we? All right, what do we want? We want mind break traps. We probably want. I wonder if we want this. It's not good against Belcher, but it is good against the other haps. The oops all spell half, right? Probably want these and these. And then how do we board? I don't think we want a tabernacle. I don't think we want a step. I don't think we want a quarter. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see how many we need to take out. Bog's still good. Don't need a bazaar. Yeah, I guess seal is fine. I mean, how many of these wastelands can we take out? Second bog is fine. Kind of want to just cut a pretty large amount of my loam package. I think we want to cut like some number of wastelands. I have both drafts recorded, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe we can go over it sometime. I'm not super into the idea. Don't really care very much, I think. But we can if people want to do it for sure. Maybe we'll just keep 3 and then like this. I actually like think that it's not super good YouTube content, at least not for my viewers. At least they haven't seemed to be super interested in things that were not vintage. Maybe there are other viewers that would be, but I guess like Kataki is like pretty reasonable as well, huh? I just don't know how many of these lands I'm allowed to cut. Probably a lot. Maybe we need to cut a fast spawn at this point. We are like pretty low on. I mean, we still have 25 lands in our deck. It's not that bad. Yeah, let's try this. I have no idea if this is the correct way to configure this post board. This is just the first things that came to my mind for this. We definitely need to roll into hate pieces though. Deafening silence is a good one. Man. I feel like this isn't good enough. I'm just gonna mulligan this. Mind break trap. Plus bog. I guess it's fine. Put away forest. Stage. Trying to figure out if there's any difference. Maybe stage. Not really. Don't think it really matters. I guess I don't need to cast this right now. Maybe I should have held it. Maybe I should have held that. Because I was not going to cast a spell this turn. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's Narcomoeba. Oh, it's an Ancestral Recall. Wonderful. Fantastic. Are there any anti-combo lands that like I missed when I was doing a Google search, or not possible? Dread return underneath the Chrome Mox. That's a pretty bad sign for us. Because that means my bog is turned off, which means they're probably just going to slam a Charbelcher next turn and kill me. I don't really think I have. Maybe I'm just supposed to get a Wasteland then. Wait, Charbelcher is cost 4, right? So, I mean, they can't Dread Return kill me if this is underneath here, right? I assume. So, we should crop rot for a waste. Don't waste right away. See if we can draw a Collector Roof first. But then we should waste their thing. That would be pretty good last turn, I think. At least we can't guide a Mox Charbelcher, I guess. Okay, no play. Are you looking for a Hate Bear? A Pachuca Bog? A classic? A classic? Is there any value to not playing it? Don't think so. All right, we get back a Lurrus next turn. I don't know what that does for us. Oh, this is bad. Echoing Truth on my Deafening Silence. Okay. Mox Charbelcher. Kind of unfortunate, I guess. They played 3 Chrome Moxes. Jesus. What am I gonna do? I played the spells. Why does Step not give me protection? You know? Seems kind of unfair. This is. I guess we still would have gotten Echoing Truth, so it didn't really matter what we did. But I could have chosen to Mindbreak Trap this Chrome Mox. I guess seems pretty bad. You snipe me, Slasher? Jeez, brutal. Okay, so we are now in round 5. We've been demolished by unfair combo decks this league, but no worries. That is something that can happen, especially when we don't draw our 4 Deafening Silences. So, Sinister, I don't know if Sinister's going to do that to us. Let's find out. And we have a cat. Yeah, I like this hand. I like this hand a lot. We've got a sweet lead by going Reclaimer and baiting Counter Magic, and then going Pearl Deafening Silence, and we have a fairly fast 2020 to come back behind it. So this is obviously a little bit of a land heavy hand without a fast bond, but I think it's got some pretty strong pieces. Non-Luris Breach has Mentor, Dak, Teferi, or Tinker Citadel. Like, there's a ton of options you can have, and I do think that it has a lot of merit and is just as strong as playing Luris Breach. Luris Breach makes you a little bit one-dimensional, though you can play like a hybrid Luris Breach deck where you play like Bob's. Something that Dave Inglis has been working on. So. You can find a link to the data sheets in the Discord, !Discord in chat, and you'll be able to find links to the data sheets. They'll be in the pins. So, the Discord is where most of the people who are in this chat or watch Vintage regularly or play Vintage on Magic Online, they hang out. So, a good place to be. Does the Mox interest me in branching out into other formats? It actually makes me less likely, I think, to branch out into other formats, as it really shows how little time I have to get repetitions in other formats. I actually think I'm even less likely to play other formats now. It's not like I don't have the same time that I used to. Makes it challenging. I felt fairly unprepared and at a disadvantage in the Mox event and in the Pro Tour that I qualified for. Which was a fairly disheartening feeling. But not like terribly. Like, I would still play other formats if I felt the urge to. Like this upcoming Legacy PTQ, I was thinking about playing, but I actually ended up with different plans on Sunday. So I think net decking only gets you so far. Repetitions are really important. This was a really awkward draw. I was planning on searching for this, but now I think what we need to do is bog them and then go get a wasteland. No, I mean, I didn't read your whole comment. I just read the first part of it, so it's kind of on me. Is Breach good versus Doomsday? Well, this is a contentious point. Theoretically, Breach should be good against Doomsday due to Brain Freeze. But I think it's a fairly close matchup, in my opinion. It used to be pretty overblown that Breach was not Breach was incredibly good against Doomsday, and I think that ended up just not really being true. So all right. Oh, that is an unfortunate draw for them. Wasteland, if they play this correctly, will stop me from being able to Wasteland them. I don't think I'm allowed to not go for a Wasteland here, though, am I? This is quite a bad sequence for us. Not happy about it. I don't really know. I can Tabernacle still, so I have some more. I still have other options. The better ace place finisher. That's certainly a thing. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna get a Wasteland and force them to Wasteland. Oh, they just didn't Wasteland. All right, well, it's kind of unfortunate for Sinister, as I think they're now probably going to lose this game. Wow, that was a draw. Yeah, it was a pretty strong, pretty big mistake, unfortunately for Sinister there. I do think that this is a pretty winnable game. We have a pretty fast 2020, and we have the ability to tabernacle them still. So there's a lot of good things going on in that game for us. This matchup does seem pretty good. Let's still bring in another bog. And then we need to think about these deafening silences are quite poor. What do we want instead? I would think for Force of Vigor hits Hollow One and Leyline of the Void. Seal of Cleansing, Hollow One, and Leyline of the Void. I think Breach is a really fun deck to play if you're a combo player. There's a lot of agency and a lot of choices, and there's also a lot of deck building choices, which makes it pretty good for new combo players. So yeah, I would say that I would say that Breach and Vintage is a bit more of a combo control deck that compared to other format Breach decks. Just because you have the powerful blue restricted shell. What else do we want to do here? I don't think we want to step. You can actually totally play the Wasteland Loam match game in this matchup, because you should make the games pretty long after Wastelanding them. So this is probably fine. Let's try this. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Okay, on Hollow One between 3 Vigors and a Seal, but maybe we'll need more. We'll find out. This hand has a Crop Rot for the Wasteland on turn 1. It's a little underpowered, but I think it works. This matchup does seem very good. If we could play against Shops and Dredge. Unfortunately, what I just told everyone was that there is not very much Shops and Dredge in the challenge meta. So I don't know if I can recommend playing this. Though 4 Deafening Silence is fairly good against Breach. I will say that I do think 4 Deafening Silence can be pretty effective against them. I've found my flagstones in this deck to be quite good. No Dredger. That is unfortunate for you. I wonder if they'll have a counter spell. I wonder if we should do any kind of baiting here. Trying to figure out if there's any ways that we can sequence this where we'll be extremely happy no matter what they have in their hand. I don't really think we're supposed to play like into Mindbreak Trap or anything. I do think I'm just gonna go Emerald, Flagstones, Crop Rot. I think that's the strongest line. Oh wow, 2 years show. That's wild. Appreciate it. Happy you can always be around. We could get negated, which is a consideration. But I think not letting them activate again is worth it. It's a little hard. It's hard. It's hard. There's a lot of stuff here. See if this resolves. It just straight resolved. That's very good for us. Now the question is, are we interested in what are we interested in here? I think we're just interested in fast bond. Obviously if this gets trapped, I think that's fine. And then we could just loam. Is that better than playing a reclaimer? I don't know if that's better than playing a reclaimer. Reclaimer lets us just get. Oh, we don't actually care about a bog unless they have a second. But we have fast spawn, so maybe we can just go loam into reclaimer. This deck's pretty fun. Now we're the combo deck. That was really cool. I love when you get to do loam fast spawn things. It's pretty sweet. That obviously played around nothing. We chose to not play around anything, but that's not unreasonable either, considering my opponent did mulligan pretty heavily. That was pretty cool showing, actually, there at the very end. We got to see some of the power of this deck. I think this deck is capable of powerful starts, and we didn't really get to see very many of them because we died on turn 2 to combo decks a lot. But in that last game, you got to see some really serious Life from the Loam fast spawn things happening, right? So, I think I'm down to do just maybe another league with this, or maybe another deck. I need to use the restroom first, then we'll figure something out. Okay, so we started up a second league chat. We are now made a couple changes. Took out the Once Upon a Time. Add some main deck collector use. We'll see what we can do. No Prompts is the king of Hogak, though they were in chat recently, so I'm not 100% sure if we'll be playing a mirror or versus Hogak. We'll have to see. This hand looks fairly reasonable. Definitely gonna keep. I didn't update the cardboard live. Sorry, but it's very similar to the deck that's in the cardboard live. I can update it in between the next round. The question will be is it worth it to fast bond? And I think it is. No. I do think we should play out our wasteland in case they have a vigor, maybe. Oh, this just got negated. Interesting. So I wonder if this is Dredge. Possibly. I wonder if I should be holding crop rotation up or if I should cast reclaimer. I'm leaning towards cast reclaimer. This does run into Mindbreak Trap, which is slightly concerning, but we don't play around that here. I do love when I play this deck because everyone just counters fast spawn whether or not it's good, because it's impossible to know if it's going to be good or not. Oh, it is bizarre. Okay. So the question becomes, is it Hogak, not Hogak, is it like a Squee variant or is it a Dredge deck? And it's a pretty high variance deck, Slasher, so 4-1 is pretty acceptable. Oh, it is a Squee deck. Squee, Ghost Quarter, Hollow One. Okay. So we're set up pretty well to deal with this. We've got tons of main deck hate. We've got all kinds of good cards. The first thing we're going to do here is Wasteland this Bazaar so they can't get value. I'm not going to crop rotation for Tabernacle because I don't really want to lose my Reclaimer. I don't really want a crop rotation for anything if I can help it, which would be a reason why we should not have gone for Reclaimer, maybe. But I just think if we draw a land, we should be in great shape. I don't think... Okay, if they wasteland me, I'm going to snap off a crop rot. Yes. That one is pretty good for us. The question will be, what do we get off of this? I think the answer is just going to be a fetch land. I think the answer is a fetch land. Yeah, I'm going to go with a fetch land. Oh, hey, Matt. Do you mind sending me your last Coal Skull Clamp thing? I'd love to play that at some point as well. I drew a Tabernacle. I see. I see. Okay. So be it. Flagstones was not an unreasonable search, but I didn't want to not be able to play Crop Rot. I was expecting to have to Tabernacle at some point. So now I think I just have to pay for this. I think I want to fetch a basic. Ugh, I can't really fetch a basic here. I guess, yeah, I guess I can fetch a forest. I guess they would want me to wasteland the Tabernacle, so maybe I can fetch a Savannah. I got a Flagstones. Sure, it's really good. I can't believe this is 3 lands. I thought this was 4 lands the entire time, Matt. I played 3 leagues with this card and thought it was 4 lands the entire time. It's actually insane. So what's the best way to sequence this? Just pay with Flagstones and then crop rot it away, maybe? I see. Okay. So I think we can go Lotus Thalia, and then if it resolves, we can still crop rot. Not sure what we're crop rotting for. Maybe a wasteland. Pretty sure we just want to attack. I think we just get a wasteland. We can pay for our whole table. They can't really come back. Okay. If they're gonna force it, that's fine, because we'll just hold open our crop rot. See. We have a 4-turn clock here. Maybe we're just supposed to crop rot anyways. But what do we crop rot for, though? I feel like it's good use of our mana, right? I think we want to have a wasteland. And then if we hit a land drop, we can get Luris. That kind of works out pretty well, right? And then next turn, we can play Luris and bring back Black Lotus. Okay. Pretty strong. I love the Bazaar matchup. Let's bring in a Bajuka Bog. Let's bring in Force of Vigor. Let's bring in Kataki. Spirit. Seal. Swords, I'm not sure about. And then let's take out Bazaar. Well, Bazaar's actually probably fine. Take out Step. We don't have that many cards to cut, though. Oh, we have 4 Deafening Silence to cut. That's a nice one. We can cut Collector Roof as well. Or it doesn't really do anything. This works out pretty well. Submit. That matches up pretty well. Assuming we don't want Swords to Plowshares, which I don't think we really need it. We have a lot of answers to Hollow One, including, like, creatures. uh, who knows? Probably non-zero. Probably non-zero Akash. All right, round 2. Well, still round 1, but part 2. Wow, that is a hand I'm willing to keep, isn't it? Obviously, I can get Hollow One here, and it's not great for us, but Hollow One found off of Once Upon a Time. It's a good start for no props. All my sizing got messed up. Oh god, double Rudy Wallace. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna need to go to church. But I think first we need to Wasteland. The question will be, do we try to Bazaar and go to church? Or do we, like, play our flagstones and then seal this Hollow One? That's probably the strongest line. We do have enough time. Yeah, especially if they're gonna play a Wasteland. We are definitely not shouldn't go flagstones though, because if they flagstones in my upkeep next turn, that would be bad. So I definitely need to go Windswept Heath. And then we take 6 and go to 8. They have to not have a Force of Will, which is of course less than ideal, but what's a guy gonna do? Well, and their Force of Will and a Negation are both exiled, along with a Vengevine and a Hollow One, so it's possible. It's possible. I mean, they had a fairly strong hand, so it might just not be winnable. Second Bazaar? Well, I hate to say it, but this one does not look very winnable. I guess theoretically we could draw Fast Bond, maybe? I don't know. Opponent's hand was quite substantially better, so. They pitched a Force of Will. Well, that can't be a good sign. I did draw the Fast Bond. Interesting. Can we do anything here in a way where we could win? So if we waste their Wasteland, and they don't have a counterspell, and we play a Fast Bond, And then we take 2 damage to play a seal, giving us 6 life. Then we go to 5 life to play a Bazaar and search for a Tabernacle. I guess we would do Bazaar first. Search for a Tabernacle. I mean, I think this line is better than choosing to go for a seal line. It has a really high upside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Wasteland on your Wasteland. They have to have nothing for this to work, but we're going to try. Oh, I also have to fetch. So I might have just like one less thing to work with here. Fast bond. I think we want to hit play Bazaar and attempt to find a Tabernacle. That would be our best option. We did not find a Tabernacle. We did find a blocker though, but we don't have a green land. So I can play 2 lands and shoot the hollow one, play 1 land and kill the Bazaar and go to 1. Still only on 1 tab post board. Oh, I need to get rid of 3 cards. This is pretty bad for Justin. Oh, I discarded too many lands, so now I'm dead. Well, I'm not dead, but I gave them an extra Bazaar activation. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on. Maybe my Bazaar activation was greedy. I couldn't keep my Reclaimer if I wanted to make the play that I wanted to make. This obviously has to resolve as well, so everything did resolve, which is nice. Unfortunately, I can't like play a Luris or anything unless I draw a Lotus. If I top deck a Lotus, actually, we might win this game. So I could have chosen to keep the Thespian stage instead of this Reclaimer, go to 3 and strip mine the Bazaar. And then I would go to 1, and then I would die to the Root Wallas. Where here, I go to 2 and can play a Reclaimer and don't die to the Root Wallas, but they get a Bazaar. Yes, I'm expecting Ley Lines, which is why I'm playing Seal. Fire off sound bits. Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. I just come here and I play Magic. No music, just me yelling at Twitch chat, and mediocre Magic the Gathering happens. Slasher, I think that's insanity, but Loriwa is one of the only people who wins with that deck, so. No, I mean, I don't think technical shit's that bad. I don't really know. I don't think it brings much to a stream. I don't really like, I mean, that's just my personal preference. So I do make my stream match my personal preference usually. So that's kind of a ghost court. All right, so I do think this is winnable. We need a Tabernacle though. So what I need to do here is draw and then Bazaar into a Tabernacle, strip mine the Ghost Quarter, and play a Tabernacle. This game is not over yet. Also, Lotus for Luris is pretty good. Like, putting Seal on top. That's really annoying. Okay. 2 draws, I guess. Unfortunately, I can't, like, the third root walla was really bad because this one root walla would have, Reclaimer with 2 root walla would have bought me a turn. This does not buy me a turn. Pretty unfortunate. I think we almost came out of that alive. It was pretty close. We would have drawn. Wow, that would have worked. Huh. If opponent hadn't noxious my seal, no, I would have had to discard 3. Never mind. Never mind. That would not have worked. Crop rots. Yeah, we had all kinds of crop rots to hit too. We had a lot of outs. I don't really like swords, but I guess if they're playing Vengevine, swords do get a lot better. So I'm kind of in on swords now. And then I think we can just trim on a loam and a bazaar. I think typically bazaar is not 100% necessary. All right, what do we got? Team 3, we've got a fast bond, we've got a really fast depths, and then force. Sure. So they are playing just Hollow Vine, really, or like a horror one with some horrors as well. I think I'm just going to fetch for the basic forest here. Let's see if this gets countered, is the next question. Yeah, it just got forced. Not much I can do there. Just have to let that happen. Hmm. We have a ghost quarter for this bazaar, so as long as this isn't too ridiculous. Horror squee, okay. Ghost quarter fights that fairly well. They're gonna return all 3 back to their hand. Pretty insane. Okay. Play Reclaimer. Yeah, definitely play Reclaimer. They have a removal spell for this? Alright, so they have 3 cards in their hand that are blanks unless they have a second bazaar. They have a second bazaar. Brutal. We have a second strip mine though, so as long as there aren't too many things off of this. Okay. I mean, they could also have a noxious again. Not much I can do about it though. I also can't really bog them because I just don't have enough mana in play. Oh, hit a sickening shoal as well. Pretty problematic. Bogging here is not as good as strip mining, so once again, we will destroy their bazaar. Hopefully they don't have a noxious revival. Does not look like there's a noxious revival. Third bazaar. Awesome. Fantastic. I really hate this deck. Ridiculous. Uh, really fun. I had a good time. If it was all squeeze, we would be okay because I would be able to. They just noxious revival another bazaar back to the top. Bro, I just. Come on. No props. What's a guy to do, man? It went okay. We beat 2 dredge players and lost to 3 combo players. Yeah, Golos stacks has played that in the past. I mean, there's still a possibility we can win with the 2020 here. Way too slow. Way too slow. You really kind of just need leyline. Oh, they found a second squee. They pitched a wasteland. Maybe there's a chance. Fetching this forest came back to bite me really hard now, didn't it? I would love to be able to play a Thalia on this turn. I think being able to stage is not very good, so I think I'm just gonna put this Luris in my hand. I wish it was green, I guess. Yeah, this forest fetch really came back to bite me. I thought I wanted to be able for my land not to be wastelanded. And that might still be true, but if I play Thalia here, I'd be a little bit happier. If they just don't find a wasteland and we make a 2020, we might win. I just have to hope they don't find a wasteland. Which seems unlikely, seeing as they discarded a wasteland, but what's a guy to do? They just had a pretty unbeatable draw, it seems like, right? They had turn 1 counterspell into triple bazaar with draw 3 every or draw 2 every turn because these all came back. I guess that's the way we can lose to bazaar. No activate. Attack. Pass? Please pass. I really needed them to pass with no wasteland there. Seems pretty unwinnable. Well, um, ay, ay, ay. They actually tapped in a way where they would get got by the second bog, but doesn't really matter. Don't really think anything I do really matters here. It's a little too late. I don't know. Cast Luris? Again, if they don't find a wasteland, I think it's possible we could still win this game. Copy Forest is like completely irrelevant usually. Or it's like isn't protection wise because they can just kill the Dark Depths, but fuck me. uh, this is so frustrating. It's just the most ridiculous matchup. Like they can't high roll higher than this. I guess they could high roll like an aggro hand higher than this, but in terms of like a uh in terms of a grindy hand, this is impossible for me to ever beat. I wastelanded their first 3 bazaars. What the fuck am I supposed to do? All right, I can draw Black Lotus or Moxen, right? That might win me the game. It would have to resolve, I guess, but they only have 11 cards in hand, chat. Like they've gone through 45 cards. Yeah, it doesn't really matter though if they can wasteland it or not. I guess if we draw a Mox in here and they don't counter it for whatever reason, we would win. We might win this game, but all right. I'm looking for. Oh god, they're gonna get back both horrors after they pitch a squee. Yeah. All right, Moxen off the top, please. They pitched a Caracas? How do they have a Caracas too? I think we're dead. I don't think this actually outs. I think it's a we drew the Moxen. Jesus Christ. They pitched Caracas, though. There's no way this works. Whatever. I mean, maybe they misplayed. Or maybe they have a Noctis Revival to put it back on top. All right, let's find out, chat. Was it a misplay? Or do they have everything? There's probably still 2 more Noctis Revivals in their deck, so they probably have one of those, I would think. Or maybe they have a second Caracas. Hmm? Hmm? Can't believe they pitched Caracas. They have to have another one, right? Right? Am I getting slow rolled? Well, it's kind of too late to find Revival now. They've already activated both Bazaars. I mean, if they're going to pitch Caracas, they could just counter the Mox Pearl. They might have just misplayed and wow. Nope, they had second fucking Caracas. No, fuck off. 2 Caracas? I just why are you like this? Why are you like this? Oh, it was too strong. Okay, so round 2. I have a cat. I have a hand, don't I? I think this hand's pretty bad. Very slow. Doesn't do anything fast. Doesn't have any colored mana. You might be tempted by the Life from the Loam Baghdad, but you don't have any way to cast Life from the Loam, so it's kind of bad. I'm just gonna mulligan this. This hand's much better. Look at all my mana. Eep. I'm gonna put back one of these Savannas. Part of a mental reminder, right? Like if you don't reveal your cat, you don't get a cat. So see how they feel about this fast bond. Okay, it just resolves. Do you also feel the same way about Elvish Reclaimer? Also resolves. I'm gonna hold this Wasteland. I don't think there's any really strong reason to play it right now. No, Taniguchi I think has a pretty wide range. Unfortunately, that's an island. This is a wasteland. Um, a Loam draw would be fairly strong here. Loam is probably my best draw in my deck, right? I guess a Dark Depths. Sorry, not that. I guess a Thespian Stage is the best draw in my deck because a Thespian Stage is just an immediate 20/20. Right? 2 mana. Yeah. So looking for Thespian Stage. Loam is good as well. Loam. Sweet. So what's the best way we can loam here? We can fetch. And then we can cut one of these lands and turn it into we're playing Luris, so we cannot play Night of the Reliquaries. What land do we turn this into? Do we just turn it into a stage? Probably. And then loam these back. Whatever. I'm just gonna play it all out because I'm lazy. All right. Well, we have a 20/20 next turn. We also have a loam that we can dredge. We don't die to combo. Underground Sea, it's a bad sign. Oh my fucking god. I just want to play Magic. I just want to no. Chat. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I can't. Why? Why do we play against all combo? Just uh, actually, we would have been fine if we hadn't tapped our wasteland. No, strip doesn't do anything because it comes into play tapped. If we had held open our wasteland, we could have wastelanded the underground sea, but man, Doomsday is the most fucked up shit. It's so broken. So broken. So broken. 8. Doomsday is class A nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous consistency and also the best counter suite in Vintage. Yes. Thassa's Oracle broke it. It is hard to understand. It's hard to it is hard overstate, understate. It broke it, man. Apparently it is. Apparently it is hard to state. Fair. Gosh. It's Thassa's Oracle did a number on us. I'm not gonna lie to you right now. That card was a huge mistake. Okay. It's a good hand. There's no way they have Force of Will, right? Ooh. There's no way they have a fetch land, right? Yeah, it's not the best idea. I don't disagree. Yeah, 2020 coming up. Wait, what? Wait, what is this? Oh. If I had known this was gonna happen, I would have strip mined them. Fuck. I guess I misplayed. I didn't think they would care about Reclaimer. Huh. I misplayed, chat, sorry. I should definitely have held back this stage and went for strip mine. My bad. That's an interesting one. I think I'm just supposed to strip mine and not make a 2020. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of lessons to be learned on how not to play. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, my fast bond costs 2 mana slasher, so it doesn't really work out the way we want. I do think I am going to strip mine and copy strip mine. And I'm gonna pass and then strip mine on their turn, I guess. So now I'm just gonna strip mine now. Oh, I didn't want to get gushed. Why not a 2020? I think this is better. How else do I explain it? I think they're less likely to kill. I think that this Thalia is good enough. What? How do I explain this? Actually, I am having a hard time vocalizing why. I think the percentage chance that I win the game is higher if I am strip mining than making a 2020. Like they could easily go end of turn mystical tutor for fatal push, untap, fatal push, land, dark ritual. Oh my god, they're a nut job. These decks play Caracas now? So I think I would have lost pretty heavily if I made a 2020. That's I didn't. All right, that doesn't count though because I didn't factor in Caracas. That's wild to me. Um, man, what am I gonna do now? Think I just have to attack, strip mine the Caracas. Um, play a fast bond. Well, I don't have to strip mine the Caracas now. Well, is there any reason to play the fast bond? What if we just kill this underground sea? Is what I'm trying to think about. The problem is that I can't keep my Thalia in play. I guess the question is like, does Thalia resolve? Is the first thing we should ask. The thing is, I can't replay. I can't play fast bond. Should play around days. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I also want to kill the Caracas because I want to get a 2020, but it just resolves. I think I'm still just supposed to kill this. Oh, okay. So I think next turn we're just gonna get a Luris. I have so many lands. I can't believe they played a card. Oh, that's such a good draw. Ooh, that's a nice draw. That's a nice draw. I like that. Imagine if they could misstep this instead of my Reclaimer. All right, now we've got double protection, so we're making progress. I can't believe they had a Caracas in their deck. I can't believe we're not dead. Chain? Okay. I mean, can they still do things with a deafening silence, though? I'm intrigued. Oh, fuck off. You don't have a console. Oh, whew, whew, whew. I was so scared. That would be absurd. That would have hurt, man. That would have. Ooh, that's a 2020. I think we're supposed to play Thalia. No, at this point, we might actually not be supposed to play Thalia. We might actually supposed to be 2020 at this point. In what situations? They did not put a card on top that I can tell. They're not like you, no props. They don't just have second Caracas. Come on now. I actually think it's supposed to be 2020 this turn. They do not have to top one. They could have another chain. But if they're chaining my 2020, I mean, I can't stop that by playing Thalia or anything, so. Okay. Get in there. Get in there. Okay. No props comes in and does me dirty, making me relive second Caracas. Oh, it hurts. This deck is pretty fun to play, though. Have to admit, for a non-forceable deck, I get some decent amount of enjoyment from this. I'm still wilding that the Doomsday player has Caracas in their sideboard. I guess I didn't read Eric's latest article. What if I Google it? Doomsday. What's it called? It's called School? Oracle something? Man. Whatever. Okay. I accept. Ooh, the classic. Oh, there's a ley line. Maybe we should have brought in stuff for the ley line. Eh. Oh, this night sucks. We might have picked a poor deck for this league tonight. Not gonna lie. Nah. You gotta want it. All right, so they pitched 3 lands. Okay. Hello. I don't think we're allowed to play Exploration or Silence. I think the best play is Strip Mine. Next turn, though, I do think the play is Exploration. If we get a next turn. Sure. Why not? Doesn't even activate any more necros. There. Is there anything we can do with a crop rot? Not because I used my strip mine, I guess. I guess I could ghost quarter them. Seems very greedy. I probably boarded bog out. Actually, technically, there is a bog in our deck. I don't think that's very good, though. Ah, mental misstep. Got us. Why not just mental misstep exploration, then? Yup. Yup. They only have 3 cards in hand, chat. I guess they have a Necropotence, though. It shouldn't matter, though. They're going for Ancestral. This might be winnable, depending on their remaining 3 cards. So there's a Lotus, there's an Ancestral. Gosh. Okay. If they put Lotus in the top 2, we know they have an Ancestral and they have a Lotus. That's all we know. We know there's a Thassa somewhere in the 9. I'm thinking about Fluster. The problem is, I think they would have put Lotus, Ancestral in their top 2 cards. So even if... I think we're supposed to trap it. All right, they can just go Street Wraith into Ancestral, Ancestral into Lotus, kill us. Yeah, all right, sure. Can't beat that. Unless they didn't put the Ancestral on top. All right, well, we're dead. I hate Doomsday so much, chat. Yeah. Well, the problem is they draw 2 cards and then they draw 3 cards, and they would have assuredly put a counterspell in their top 5, so it would not have helped. Doomsday's not gas. Doomsday's just fucking broken, man. Another one. Sure. A pretty good hand. Does my fast bond get... Oh, did not get countered. You love to see it. Question becomes... No, it's just not... It's not really a question. It's actually just Thalia. Man, Thorn stood up for you, Slasher. What the? Have we finally found our good matchup? Basic Mountain. I just kind of played everything because I'm lazy. Just want to F6. I played this because I don't want to. They could feasibly play Wasteland is more likely than a bounce spell. So what the? Oh yeah, sure. Don't care. Wasteland is definitely more likely than a bounce spell, so I would much rather just put the 2020 in play. Okay, we have found our match. We have found the matchup we were looking for. I don't know what's in their deck, chat. I'm gonna assume. What am I going to assume? Should I assume Blood Moons or something? Maybe we should just bring in Forces. Should we keep in Silence? I don't really want to. Take out Bog. I don't know. It could be Burn. This is probably fine. These hands are sweet. Not enough blue cards, but you know, did sign up for that. I really love Fast Pawn Loam. It's like drawing cards. No, I don't think Chalice does anything in 2021. I found Chalice to be quite bad. And then I thought the Thorns were terrible. There was originally 4 Spheres and a Thorn in this deck, and I thought they were bad. I should get Flame Rift? Alright, so it is actually Burn. But my Burn opponent did mull to 4. So I hypothesize that they are in fact dead. Let's see. What can we do for fun here? How much damage can I take and still be able to win this game? I feel like there's got to be some sweet fun things here. I feel like I'm just gonna hurt myself though if I keep doing this. Should we tabernacle their guide? I feel like we just does sound like fun to me. No, we need to get a green land so we can life from the loam. I feel like I'm gonna actually just like end up being very sad after I use all of my life to get all of my things back and do it again. Oh wait, now my reclaimer is really small. I fucked up. All right, this was terrible. Do we get the Luris? I guess I'll just crack this and block. I guess that's the same amount of damage, Justin. All right, whatever. I just had too much fun. What is Simian Spirit Guide? Simian Spirit Guide Lava Spike you. All right, I'll go to 5. You got me. This might be doing it, chat. Oh wait, we're gonna die. No, we can't die. There's no way we can die. What are you talking about? Just go to. I'm the combo deck now. I'm the combo deck now. How can they kill me with no man ice? I did more burn than they did. Dead to a red source? They had 0 cards. Come on now. I made a 2020. What are you, chat. You're whack. Brian Kelly will not murder us on turn 1 with Doomsday. I'm excited. Let's try to battle. I wonder what Brian has in store for us. It looks like a Luris mirror. It is a Luris mirror. Each player has cats. Cats on screen. What do we have? We've got not the strongest hand, to be perfectly honest with you. What we could do is we could play a Reclaimer and then crop rotate for a. We can crop rotate for a Flagstones. And then we can Flagstone, so we can Reclaimer Flagstones for a stage. And then we have a 2020. It's a little slow. Down, let's try it. Elvish Reclaimer. Do you agree, Brian Kelly? I guess my plan kind of sucks if they counter my Elvish Reclaimer, so maybe this was a poor choice. Okay, the Elvish Reclaimer has resolved. What does Brian have for us today? Misty? Pass. Why do I feel like my Crop Rot will get countered? This seems like a bad idea. If I were to... I think we should just use Reclaimer to get something. I have a feeling I'm not allowed to cast this Crop Rot, but it is the only way we can do the thing. Also, Brian is a known repeal player, which makes our life a little difficult. Also, they have a Baleful Strix. Let's see. All right, I'm going for the Flagstone line. Flagstones has been real nice. Stage. Untap. Dark Depths. I guess I should have attacked first and see if he was willing to block. That was probably a bad play by Justin. Oh well. I think I'm more willing to play around like an Oko rather than like a strip mine, but who knows? Brian Kelly. Could be anything. The nice part is we can actually Life from the Lomar stuff back next turn if we want to. Ah, you're right. There is a Luris. Well, you think there's a strip mine in their Volcanic Island Underground Sea Baleful Strix deck? I guess there could be if there's a library. I don't know, man. It's Brian Kelly. It is more likely than Oko. I agree with that sentiment. Yes. Well, what about like sorcery speed bounce spells? Come on, there's Brian has to be playing at least one Void Snare in his main deck. Apparently there is a Caracas in the sideboard of the Doomsday decks sometimes. We learned that the hard way today. Blue Seal. Yeah, yeah, Blue Seal. But that would also would still wreck us, so. Engineered explosives on 1. You got it, Brian Kelly. All right, I'm going to make a 2020. All right. Elvish Reclaimer down. 2020 into play. Aether Spellbomb is definitely not better than Blue Seal. Mostly due to... Oof, there it is. Tabernacle at the Pendrell Vale, you say. Alright, well, I'm going to attack with my indestructible Maris Lodge. And then we need to choose what our next play is. We could get a Luris. We could Life from the Loam back Dark Depths stage. Kind of seems like the best line, right? I guess we should play out the pedal in case we got dazed. What about Ghost Quartering Library? Is that too greedy? Probably. If they find an answer to Merit Lage, is it going to be a repeatable answer? I guess is the real question, right? I would think it'd be a repeal would be the answer, so no. So I would rather be able to find a second stage, or second 2020. Okay, we have successfully vanquished the Baleful Strix Magician. Tabernacle out. Spirit in. I have no idea what's in my opponent's deck, so it's really, really hard for me to board for it. I kind of feel like we should just keep this main deck configuration. I have a step, so I can beat Luris casting Baleful Strix every turn. I'm not too worried about that. I don't know, maybe we want more bogs than one bog? I don't really think so. How good's Collector Roof, I guess, is a question. Thanks, Matt. I had a fun time with my roommates celebrating my 8th place finish. So, whatever, let's just try this. Oh, yeah, it was a very painful Sunday. Uh, Totally worth it, though. I know the words really well, and that makes it even worse. I think this is just a mulligan. Doesn't really seem like a strong keep. Yeah, this one looks good though. Let's cut out the pearl. I don't really think that's necessary. Maybe it's good though. I could cut out the flagstones and then I could go exploration. No. I think this pearl's bad. I don't know what's happening in chat. Oh, what the? All right, maybe Brian is combo. All right, I can work with that. Yeah, but why is this standstill deck play? Uh, Whatever. I'm just gonna make it 2020. When to run negation? Hmm. Good question. Depends on the deck. Depends on what you're trying to do. The standstill doesn't seem good against me. But also, me drawing 3 cards probably doesn't really matter. So maybe it's fine. I just want to crack this. All right. I mean, nice standstill, I guess. I don't know. What am I supposed to do here, chat? Rug deck with Dazes, Pyros, Waste Ren. That's totally a deck that can play negations. Like 1 or 2. But you don't have to. I think sideboard negations are very reasonable. There are definitely only certain decks in the format where you want negations. I think sideboard negations are probably underutilized. So my opponent here gets to look at 9 cards, 10 cards actually, I guess, to try to find their repeal. I guess would be the question, or the not the question, maybe the answer. I guess. Oh, they found something here. Clearly, I assume we're drawing 3 cards. We are back to drawing 3 cards. Nice standstill, but I think we might still lose this game. I guess it depends on what kind of cards my opponent has in their deck. If they have a Tinker, we probably lose. Negation's a really weird card to have in Doomsday because it doesn't help you protect your combo, but preventing other people from clocking you can be relevant. Time Walk. Okay. Time Walk what, Luris? Uh-oh. What is happening? Why do I feel like we're dead? Even though my opponent's standstill drew me 3 cards. Wow, we are dead. That's pretty fucked up, Brian. He didn't even draw any cards this game. He played a standstill that drew us 3 cards and then just like topped until he found the 2-card combo. I guess it's like a 4-card combo at this point. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to reevaluate what my plan is here. Didn't realize this was the direction that they were heading. So a bunch of collector roofs and a bunch of vigors. I think 2 Bajuka Bogs probably fine. Home away. Deal is kind of reasonable. Cut on this loan package a little bit. I think I definitely want the step. Just cut this loan package down. I think it was pretty insane that we lost that game, but I guess it happens. Sure. Keep. It doesn't technically do very much, but alright. Fast spawn gets forced. Relatable? Relatable. What you got for me? Nothing. Step. Every time I draw one of these, it is very sad days. I guess the question becomes, is a Luris more useful here than just getting another white land? Another green land, I mean? I don't think so. I'm gonna hold this step in case we make a 20/20 and want to give it protection from Baleful Strix. So this is definitely a situation where I wish I had all my Life from the Loams still in my deck. I don't really know. Standstill? What if I just draw 20/20? You're just gonna get on library if I don't draw a wasteland, but I mean that seems pretty ridiculous. Wait, can't I just get on library? I guess I'm farther out from library. I don't know. This definitely doesn't seem like a time where I'm breaking a standstill though. If I just copy their library and draw a wasteland, are we not going to win the game? Oh, I guess I should have maybe put the Luris in my hand this turn. I wanted to copy library though. I guess I can get 2 copies of library. I guess the Luris puts me to library faster. Kind of sick. This seems like a bold play from my opponent, but maybe it works. Yeah, Luris goes into their hand. I don't know. They are gonna hit library first, I guess. Unless we wasteland, like we have 6 wastelands in our deck to draw to. Of course not. All right. Well, they get to go on library, but then we get to go on double library. This is the dumbest game of Magic. What are we doing here? Is this like, what? This is ridiculous. Uh... Oh, they have a strip mine. Okay. So am I gonna get a library strip mined? I don't think so. Okay. Draw. This is unfortunate. I think I'm just gonna discard. No, I didn't want it to activate library twice there, so I purposely did not activate library with library in the stack. Unfortunately, for some reason, I feel like we are not actually winning this game. I do believe we have not drawn well. Because I should definitely have drawn Wasteland between now and then to kill off my opponent's library. But, well, I guess. No, I definitely wanted to activate some number of libraries on my turn and attempt to kill their library. But my 30 land deck has not drawn any lands right now, which has made things fairly awkward. All right, they're just going to break the standstill because I think that the step is something I wanted to keep in my hand. I mean, maybe we just die here, right? I don't know. I only ended up with 1 force of vigor, so maybe we lose. I'm so surprised that that library standstill line give me 3 cards worked out for them because it's so bad. It was just not a good play, but we drew like shit, I think. So I don't think we're gonna get another turn. There's a death rate in this deck? So confused. In both games, my opponent has played a standstill and given me cards. Time Walk, I assume? Like, it has to be Time Walk, right? Luris, standstill again? Oh, I see. I'm just gonna break the standstill and like play my entire hand out, and they probably can't win, I would assume. But oh, I know. Yo, what's up, Chris? I don't exactly know what's happening. Brian Kelly is being Brian Kelly in a very Brian Kelly manner. Um, like I just make a 20/20, right? I should just break this standstill, right? Well, hold on. Oh, hold on. If I just crop rotation for I can just crop rotation I don't know. If I play a Thalia, shouldn't matter. The problem is I'm gonna make a 2020. I just don't know if it's good enough, I guess. I kind of think that like playing a bunch of creatures on my turn is better. I guess if I resolve a Thalia, then everything is uncounterable after. So maybe it's fine. I don't know if I have to. Well, the thing is, I do want to kill this strip mine, right? Maybe this sucks. I don't know. I think there's a world where I'm not casting the bears. I just don't know. Like I can make a 2020. Maybe this is just worse. This might just be worse. I mean, they can't go above 20th night without losing their Luris, so does that really matter? Like, isn't this good for me? I'm pretty sure this is good for me. This sure seems good for me. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure my line is better than play all my things, but giving them 3 cards seems unnecessary. This is the second league, so we actually had a really short league and I wanted to play again. We actually played 2 leagues tonight. Like next turn, I could step on this for blue so that they can't like play a shark. I don't know if they have a shark in. I guess they can't play a shark in their deck because they're a Lurus deck. I don't know. My opponent's gonna have to break the standstill again, and this time they shouldn't be able to replay it. It's my hand was really strong, so maybe it was bad. But I have at least some protection against like a Time Vault combo, so they're at 1. If they want to cast Force, they should eat for green. It's a weird match. Lightning Bolt? I'm gonna get Lightning Bolted out of this game? That's weird. I didn't play around that one, chat, to be fair. I guess I shouldn't have played my extra forest. I don't know. Super weird. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. All right, we won. Brian Kelly Magic makes me contemplate if I even know Magic at all. Because these matches are so far removed from what we normally do in Vintage that my brain hurts. Am I supposed to crack? Am I not supposed to crack? I can make a 20/20 because they gave me 9 cards in this game. Brian Kelly let me draw 9 extra cards in this game. That's not even true because also I got 2 Library of Alexandrias. So I drew like 13 extra cards in this game because of my opponent's choices. So I don't know, man. Whatever. Next. Can we this is it. Can we get to a 50% win rate on stream? That's the question. Versus Rumix. What do we got? A cat? Typical. Keep. I love these hands. Love them. Keep drawing the stupid step. I don't know about the step. I put the step in the deck because I was sick of losing to Swords to Plowshares, but then we never played against Swords to Plowshares again. So maybe this hand doesn't do anything. And you would be right if you said that. Okay. Well, now we have some choices. I think the best choice is to fire off a Life from the Loam on 0 targets. And I think we don't want to play these. Actually, I think I want to play this. I'm going to hold the Wasteland, though. All right, let's see what my opponent does. Are we dead? I don't know, man. At this point in the night, I just suspect it's an Ancient Tomb we're in. We're playing Magic again. We have a chance. Oh, that's 4 mana. Never mind. It's bad. 4 mana. Okay. That's fine. It's pretty decent against my Wasteland plan. However, I'm going to dredge my loam. And I'm going to hit. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit. I would like to... I'm going to... Sorry. I'm going to get my full value here. Play my Wasteland that I held. Wasteland your Ancient Tomb. Cast Life from the Loam. Get back my 3 lands. Play my lands. I guess I don't need to play all of my lands. Let's get my Luris then. Okay. Here you go. This is a race, so who can damage themselves to 0 the fastest? Ancient Tomb Mana Crypt or Fast Spawned Life from the Loam? This is fun. This deck is very good against Shops and Dredge, I think. Not good against Doomsday. All right, I'd like to bring these in. I'd like to bring that in, and maybe even that in, and quite possibly this in, and even that in, and that in. Not that one in. I lied. Maybe not this one. Nice Crucible. All right, Tabby out, Steppy out, Silence is out. One Thalia out. And then this is where I want to be. Go get a second Bog in here. Maybe it's better than a Thalia. Fast Bond and lands and Loam, quite good. I like that our deck does have some combo lines, but I think this is where we want to be. Yeah, this is fine. All right. What we got? What we got? Show us the hand. Yeah. Okay, this is playable. Not broken like last time, but against Golos stacks, pretty keepable. No holiday that I'm aware of. Just Justin wanted to stream Vintage Day. Been too long. Been so long. See. Anyways, keep. All right, let's see what our opponent has for us. It could definitely be a hand that loses, but I would be remiss to keep this many lands versus Shops, I believe. And it's nice that no one else has caught on to chose Relic of Progenitus tech, because that'd be pretty good against us. Though I guess we have a bunch of Collector Roofs. Though 6 mana on turn 1 may be too much mana. Yikes. Caracas is a pretty good find here. It's quite good against 2020s. I believe we're going to have to wasteland this workshop no matter what they find. They just went for double workshop. Wow. Incredible. Fantastic. I do think we need to wasteland, and I guess we'll play a Reclaimer off of a Petal. Seems like the best place we can be here. I don't think there's a better choice, but I could be wrong. Maybe like this Reclaimer. I mean, this Reclaimer will eventually block this Golos, so not the end of the world. I can't beat a Crucible here. That would definitely be problematic. I just deleted your Golos Shops list, Show. I don't know why, because I liked playing it, but I don't think we would want to Tabernacle there. I understand that there's some upside, but I think that would be pretty greedy. I don't think the Golos being in play is a huge problem. Whereas I think their double workshop is a huge problem. Could be wrong though. I did think Smokestack was pretty good when I played it, Joe. Named Reclaimer. Played as a Mana Vault. Does they play a second land? Does they? Does they play a second? Oh, they have the Caracas in hand already. I see. That is fairly problematic. If they just have any 2 mana land, they're going to be able to replay this forever. I guess I have to hit this Caracas then. I wanted to hit the workshop, but I think the chance that they can return this is too high. Oh, I guess they can always return it, so I have to hit the workshop and just hope they have nothing. That's kind of insane, but what's a guy gonna do? I guess. Hmm. This is quite bad for us, I would think. Hmm. Maybe we should have tabernacled away this Golos on turn 1. I feel like that would have not gone well though. Opponent could have just played anything they wanted off of workshop. It's too greedy. So ancient tomb or workshops here would be the end of the world, probably. I don't know how we would come back from that. Fast spawn, I guess. Just had 2 workshops. Okay, yeah, wow. I mean, it's quite good. What can I say? I think I have to crop rotation for a wasteland on the Caracas now. I mean, what? I mean. Okay. Got pretty far. Oh man. Thanks, Snake. I appreciate the support. uh, okay. Are you trying to tell me something, Snake? Are you trying to tell me that I don't have any good channel point rewards? We do gamble. I'm just usually too lazy to set up the thing, so it only really happens when Raphael's around. We do gambling here, and that does happen. Sphere of Resistance. I mean, we're not losing right now. Yes, I would say this deck is fairly good against shops, but obviously my opponent's draw was on the stronger side. But I mean, they're brick walled here because Golos doesn't do anything. So we've got time to make a 20-20 and win this game. I'm in. I said it with my eyes. See? Ooh, the full pay. You love to see it. I mean, I actually think I'm winning right now, which is kind of weird to say, but if I really cared about spheres, I could blast zone them all away. They had my age wrong? Oh, you're making funnies. You're making funnies now. Nice deck, opponent. Hilarious deck. Just what are you doing? Oh shit. Should we play a second reclaimer here, or do we vigor? We should play a second reclaimer. Man, this is like a classic Exhibit A. Why not to play Golos shops? All right. Well, now the 2020 plan's offline, but we still have the vigor plan. I wonder if we're just supposed to. Yeah, I think we just want a vigor so that I can attack. The clock's pretty fast. The Ghost Quarter makes it so the 2020 plan is kind of sus. Um, like I can I can make a Dark Depths, then go for the 2020, but they have a Ghost Quarter, so it doesn't really work out that way. Alright, so I'm gonna kill this, and I'm gonna kill this in case I want to do something with my Reclaimers. I mean, there's like a lot of ways I can threaten Ghost Quarter, but I think attacking is just the best. I almost have another Hardcast Vigor now. Like, attacking just clocks them so fast. I think I'm just gonna put the Luris in my hand. I guess it doesn't really change anything. Always unfortunate. Not green. Can't pitch to Force of Vigor, you know? uh, Alright, I'll untime him out. Too funny. Uh-oh, they found a spell, chat. The end of the world. Oh, Trinisphere. A Trinisphere. Oh man. Nice deck, opponent. I love Golos shops. It's just hilarious. It's just too funny. What's better, playing a Luris or holding up Vigor? Probably holding up Vigor, right? Man. Lesson number 1 from Justin's stream. Never play Golos shops, chat. It is just the worst. Poor Rumix. Alright. Boom. A nice 3-2. That's a good way to cap off the night. Yeah. This deck is really, really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because that was sweet. We played 10 matches tonight. Went 5-5 total, but I went 5-0 before the stream, and I think the deck is pretty metagame specific, so that's kind of the big issue, right? I don't think it's super good into the challenge metagame right now, but who knows? Yeah, this deck is so cool. I'll have to play it more often. It's Got a lot going for it. You got to see some really cool like turn one fast spawn loam plays. Got to see some 2020s. Yeah. Your phone went rogue, Snake. I understand. So, thank you everyone for showing up tonight in Twitch chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment. Yeah, we'll get there. Like, subscribe, and comment. That's the order that everyone says, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, we're gonna find someone to raid. My next stream will be tomorrow night. Gonna be 7 p.m. Eastern for the Mythic Society weekly event. We'll play something fun, something exciting. Maybe Cole Skull Clamp, or I don't know, maybe this deck. Who knows?